Welcome to Developing Me, We, and You, where real people, real projects, and real change come together. Today's guest is a visionary with grit. Dequan Branch, known as Quan, is the founder and CEO of Neighborhood Changers, a grassroots real estate development firm grounded in second chances and soulful transformation. A self-taught investor and community advocate, Dequan brings both lived experience and creative resilience to the world of multi-unit housing. His story is one of rebuilding from the inside out, showing us what's possible when purpose meets perseverance. Welcome, Dequan.
Hey, well,
Quan.
I couldn't ask for a better introduction.
Thanks to my assistants.
Hey,
Shout out to my assistant.
whoever, I thank him too.
No, really, I mean, there's so much more that we can say. I mean, the fact that you all are local and beyond local. I mean, it's so much. I have so much respect for you as, like the intro says, a self-taught. So you really go out and get the information that you want and make it happen. So tell the world, Dequan or Quan, how did you get started in real estate development?
So I got started in real estate development probably 2 years prior. But overall, I've been in real estate, I'll say probably about 7 years. And it started because I always just desired to provide housing because, prior to me getting into real estate at all, I had legal situations to where I'm familiar with certain housing developments, projects, or whatever you want to call them. Mm-hmm. Don't want the men present as far as to receive certain aids and assistance. Mm-hmm. So I'm familiar with all that, hiding the shoes, hiding your presence at all that you're there. So that definitely wanted me to change the narrative and be able to provide housing for people who had to go through similar experiences, which I know a whole lot.
Wow. I hadn't even thought about that. You don't usually hear a lot of folks talk about it from that angle, like that's what inspired them to get into real estate. So that's powerful. So you have that's a portion of your why, right?
Yeah, it's a small portion, but it's a major portion. Mm-hmm. So just depending on what part of real estate that we actually referring to, is so many different dynamics and so many layers. But just speaking from the development side of it, it was intimidating at first, like hearing these major projects, multi-million-dollar projects, and it's like coming from a lifestyle, me wanting to do everything independently and on my own. And, I wouldn't say necessarily not wanting to follow rules, but having a certain way that I like things done and not wanting to answer to nobody, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Which was bullheaded, I admit now, over time with growth, but yeah. I accomplished a lot independently, but I'm trying to learn now to, take on bigger and more projects by expanding my horizon with other developers and, people such as yourself.
So I know you talked about your why. How did you actually get started? So
I actually got started in real estate by buying a bad deal or putting some money towards a deal I thought was, without no real knowledge, just having the money and thinking, oh, it's that simple, because I originally started like when I first heard about the first house being for sale, I'm thinking I got to come up with all the cash. And my brothers were like, no, you can put a down payment on that. Don't bring that type of money to the table if you don't got to. Then she like, you got good credentials. You working. At the time, I was a CDL driver. Okay. So when you talk about the many hats, I'm also a 3-time self-publishing author. So I pretty dibble and dabble with a little bit of everything, but real estate just changed my whole mindset and outlook on it as far as coming from the lifestyle that I was living and what I was accustomed to.
Serial entrepreneur, what'd you say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah. Sleepless entrepreneur.
Oh. Why was it important for you all to name the company Neighborhood Changers?
It was important because that's what we really want to do. Like, we want to be the ones that change our neighborhoods and not be like out-of-state investors that don't have no roots in the neighborhood at all. They just buying houses because it's a good deal, good comps in the area. It's a hot market, but really buying these houses and changing the neighborhoods where even if old lady Sally is, behind on her mortgage, to be able to help and assist. So that's where our nonprofit also comes in with our real estate development project. So we also aid and assist people, or even some of our tenants, if they behind on rent. What is it if, instead of giving them a late fee, go cut the grass?
Man.
Man. Just little small stuff. Like, we ain't unreasonable, because like I said, I know where I come from, that lifestyle. So.
Exactly. And that, I think people overlook that so much, how something maybe that seems as small as cutting grass is something that could make or break, right? Because if the grass is high,
you're getting a fine for more than what that rent payment or late fee was going to be. So I just try to communicate with people, like, you're going to have your ones that try to, get around rules and regulations, but they usually don't last long. But then you got people who going to really appreciate it, who you done gave a chance when nobody else would. Man.
So talking about giving people chances when other people wouldn't, what does it look like? So you kind of talked what that looks like in practice. I guess I'll ask, how do you create housing that reflects respect and opportunity for the residents?
I believe that's all we do, because before the money or what we could produce from that, that's part of our development skills. That's part of our real estate skills, to make sure it actually makes sense before we start even thinking about, actually housing them, because it got to make sense for us, especially doing independent with no government assistance, that type of thing. Because it had been times where we lost, wintertime months. In a transitional house, it's multiple people, maintaining them homes. So they ain't worried about the, the thermostat. They leaving it on while they at work, while they gone, and that bill reflects with, something we got to pay.
Yeah.
And I done had, some high bills. One house that, I got to take money from other houses to cover that.
Gotcha. So transitional housing, single family housing, multi-unit.
Yeah, because you can do transitional without it being a multi-unit. In fact, I did transitional housing out of single-family home, created 5 bedrooms just so it could generate the cash flow that I was used to from my multi-units.
And you learned, so self-taught.
Yeah,
so
I mean, real self-taught.
Right,
I'm going to bat with my wife at night behind some of the deals where she like, baby, you crazy. You leave that alone. And I'm like, watch me make it work.
Yeah. Wow.
And she celebrating when them checks come.
Right. I love it. And shout out to Mrs. Branch.
Yes.
Quan, I know that, again, you talked about your why earlier on. I love how your family is involved in this, right? It's not just Quan.
This wouldn't be possible without my family, especially my wife. Like you said, special shout out to her, because we done been through it all. Like even, certain situations where we could have threw in the towel. She's sticking it out, I'm sticking it out, we making it work. And we don't got a whole lot of help coming from a lot of people, contrary to what people may think, as much as good as we do, but nah, we real life independent.
So some of those obstacles that you've experienced early on, can you talk about how you overcame them? Or even, I know there's been bad deals. What did it look like on the other side? Like, can you share a story where maybe it became a win and it was not initially?
I could actually say when I got on the market right now. So when I bought it, it was $150K, and I was buying it from Arizona. So I didn't get no eyes on it, didn't get no boots on the ground, wasn't about to pay for a flight.
Because you lived in Arizona at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got to really trust my realtor. I got to really trust a couple of my buddies or whoever I seeing, but a lot of people aren't reliable. So when I'm calling, hey, can y'all do this, I don't feel like I'm entitled to nothing. So I let certain stuff go, and I just trusted the deal. I'm like, I'm going to buy it anyway, because it came with a double lot. So in all essence, I was really buying it for the lot. So even if the house deal didn't work out, I still don't lose, because I got the lot for free.
Okay. And
it's the same house I turned to a transitional house, because like I said, I'm out of town in Arizona. Even my contractors is leaving all utilities on. They overbuying material. I'm talking about, I was a nightmare at Lowe's. Like, they'll tell me it's $2,800. It may only be 14 or something, but I'm out of town. I can't really manage it. I'm just looking at bank statements like, ooh.
not even out of town. Like you across a few
Yeah,
states.
yeah,
Arizona is a
yeah,
while away.
yeah. It's definitely not no walk in the park and no jump skip. So, especially with still trying to maintain a home life there. Like, it's easy if I could have just up and checked on it by myself, leave my family behind, but she ain't going for that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you had a double lot. Did you do anything with the lot?
Yeah, that's one of the development projects I'm waiting on right now to actually, you know, I'm actually torn between what I want to do there, because originally I was thinking, you know, duplex style, whatever, but now that my portfolio has changed, I'm trying to do way more units. So,
Okay. You
yeah.
want to talk about your portfolio changing, what that means?
I mean,
Go
yeah. But portfolio change, I'm gonna just put it like this.
Okay.
Whereas I would have put, or I ain't gonna say put, but bought a house for $250 or whatever, and maybe put 30 into it, down payment money plus repairs, and trying to rent it out. It's gonna take forever to get that money back. Versus me building brand new. I ain't got no problems from the tenants for one. For at least 10 years. Don't call me about nothing. Everything's brand new. You see what I'm saying? And then the value that you're able to borrow against, you know, whether you refi it or, you know, sell it, put it on the market. So that's kind of a snippet of what I mean. But,
Okay.
or just buying in the right areas.
Yeah.
So whereas like I can buy a lot for 40 or 50 grand and people think I done lost my mind, but it may be in an area that I grew up my whole life. I know what it's worth. So
Yeah.
40, 50,000 a bill, maybe 200, and it's worth 700,000, 800,000. That's a no-brainer for me.
When did you feel like, oh, I got this. Oh, this is the real estate is what's up. Like this.
When
is
I
what
was
I'm doing.
able to go back and buy properties in my neighborhood I grew up with that I miss when they was dirt cheap, 3,000 and 4,000. Now I'm spending 200,000 and 300,000, but it still means something to me.
What did Jay-Z say? He talked about what did he say? Was he talking about Marcy projects? Like it was worth something was worth
Oh
something.
yeah, Bill. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a couple. I got a few lines from him. Even, you know, putting his people in position coming home from prison to let them know that ain't the route to go, bro. Like 200,000-300,000 or even $1 million. We talk about that in real estate like it's nothing, but that's something that you can lose your life over in the streets in cash.
Man.
This episode is brought to you by Edna Martin CBDO LLC, powered by Edna Martin Christian Center's Homes Program, helping families in Martindale Brightwood secure housing, build wealth, and grow strong communities. From home ownership training and down payment assistance to maintenance education and estate planning, Homes is your one-stop hub for sustainable living and generational success. Ready to own your future? Contact Immanuel Ivey at ivey@ednamartincc.org and take the first step toward your new beginning. Edna Martin CBDO LLC. Building homes, creating opportunities, and changing lives.
So I know that you've been self-taught and you've been, you know, with your family, your immediate family, doing real estate. What kind of connections have you made that you feel like have been beneficial in the work? I know you mentioned that, you know, you don't want to do it alone anymore.
Yeah.
So what does that look like for you?
Well, I done met a few good guys just trying to get me in on projects even out of state, because like I said, with me traveling and me getting that freedom finally once I got over my legal situation, you know, I try to network and, you know, show my daughters the world that I didn't have growing up. So that's what it looked like for me, even just being on a beach or something, and people not used to seeing a black father hands-on or proper. Like, I done met a lot of good people, like, or me letting my daughter drive a Corvette. And people like, you lost your mind, but it's like, hey, she ain't going to experience it just in no video game. She going to experience it in real life if I can.
I love it. Oh, my goodness. I love it. I love how, how involved, because the girls, they know how to do some of the labor as well, right?
Oh, they know how to do everything. Because if them or the wife keep calling me, I'm gonna tell them pull up so they can see why I'm over here this long or why I'm. But I'm learning to be less hands-on, because that was one of my biggest problems, wanting to do everything by myself. But it was a method to my madness, so I know what I should be charging, how long you should be taking, you know, things of that nature. But now, like I said, with new levels, I can't be as hands-on. And I personally don't even want to be as hands-on as I was. So
Yeah.
but yeah, they know pretty much everything. Like they my boss. Like
Right,
they the
right.
only boss I got.
Ultimately, they the neighborhood changers, right?
Oh yeah. But that's what we talk about on the daily. Like how they gonna get it so lovely versus me and they mother having to build it up brick by brick. Like we didn't left no properties, you know, or no, not to say nothing wrong with that, but I
Yeah.
know some people who had a nice head start. Like,
Man, and now you put them in a place where they gonna be good.
yeah, they shouldn't have to go through nothing. Like they got me, my daughters now building houses on them little games, and they think I'm supposed to do that in real life. And I'm like, babe, I gotta make a few more dollars before I do that one.
What's one brick, lesson, value, or mindset you've always carried with you on your projects, or that you carry with you now?
I would say one that I carry now that I didn't necessarily carry in the beginning is patience. Like right now, I'm sitting waiting on 2 closings right now, one on the duplex that I had sent you and one on Fall Creek. And it's like, I'm ready for it to be done, but it's like only because I know what I'm about to do next. Whereas I wouldn't have been thinking about it at first. It would just be another, you know, whenever we get to it.
That's good. Patience. I just imagine. I can't imagine how do y'all map everything out? All that y'all doing? Y'all got whiteboards?
Nah, that's the beauty of it. This is all in my head. That's why me and my wife argue so much. When you from this city, you gotta think. Why would you let an out-of-state investor beat you when you know your neighbor? Who know your neighborhood better than you do? Or who know your friend neighborhood better than you, or I should say?
Yeah.
Because it's certain, you say address right now or a zip code, I'm going to know where it's at without me having to Google
I already know. I done sent you stuff before, and you like.
I ain't even got to look at it.
That's.
I mean, but it's a gift from God. I ain't going to toot my own horn. It's definitely a blessing because it was a curse at one point in time. That's what led to my legal situations because I knew a little bit more than I should have known, which it's illegal.
Yeah. And I think it's a model. When people talk about wanting to build generational wealth, when they talk about, generational, we kind of throw that around, I think, generational wealth. But like,
and that's a blessing and a curse. That's a blessing and a curse. And I say that because that's what I do it for. But like when these kids don't go through certain things, they think is way easier than what you really having to do for it. Like by me being able to spend so much time with my kids, they think I don't work no more.
Oh man.
So I would say, but it's a blessing. It's definitely a blessing because that's one of them next projects that I'm telling you I'm working on that got me a little bit more anxious than I usually do is building that family compound.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so.
You want to talk about that, or you gonna save it?
I mean, we can, but yeah, I don't like to count my eggs before they hatch because I just had a bad situation on one of my properties, and it was nothing to stop it or prevent it.
You can come back and share about the compound and whatever else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to share in terms of what people should be on the lookout for, either with the development or with the nonprofit?
Yeah, I would say be on the lookout for definitely that family compound for sure. If not, like I said, I got a double lot off of Fall Creek that I plan on building on, and it's a little under 8,000 square feet, so it's a lot that can go on there. So I'm just up in the air about whether to do commercial or keep it, still basic real estate.
I want to do a mirror moment as well, which where you share a moment of personal growth that shaped your development journey.
I would say just growing up, like I said, used to doing certain things a certain way and getting fast money or what I thought was fast money.
Man.
I looked at real estate in the light of only from a perspective of how much money I can make out of this house. Versus now, I'm looking at still the same thing. How much money can I make out of this house, but legally and in so many different dynamics than, like I said, that poverty mindset.
Man.
But I was young, so it's a big difference now than, like I said, how I look at that property now and how I look at what all I can do with that property and how many lives I can change with the property.
How do you balance the mission with navigating the business side?
I make sure business stay business. I make sure personal stays personal. So that means even if I got a big real estate project going on and I need to be there at 4 o'clock, I'm a respecter of time because my time is more valuable than the money now. So, but if I got to decide between going to that deal or picking up my daughter or taking her somewhere to cheerleading practice, then you know which one going to win. It ain't going to be that real estate.
Again, you talked about growth. So did it take a while to get there, or is it because of where you are?
Nah,
now?
actually, I've always been family oriented, even when I was in the streets, and that's what made me, you know, a bigger fish to get or whatever, because they didn't like what I stand for, what I was still able to do despite that lifestyle.
Man, Quan, what legacy do you hope Neighborhood Changers will leave? And then that Dequan branch will leave?
I would say for Neighborhood Changers to keep on doing what I've created it to do, but on a bigger scale. So whereas like we talk about the kids inheriting this, that they don't blow it, that they don't, I want to create a legacy so massive that there ain't too many ways they can blow it if they decided they wanted to blow it. And as far as myself, just freedom. Like I enjoy the freedom to wake up and do whatever I want to do and wake up when I'm done sleeping. So I've lost a lot of years already, so I'm more so buying back time right now.
Okay.
More so than anything. And the real estate helping me do it.
Cool. One thing that I do before we go, I want to talk more about the nonprofit side and like how do people get involved with the nonprofit?
So right now, like I said, I'm so used to doing everything independently. Even some of these bills that we working on and some of these acres that we about to be buying, not just outside the family compound, we about to give regular residents a chance to buy into that. So we ain't just providing housing and it look like it's about profit. It's going to be absolutely about no profit at all if they buying into it. Because there's so many people to provide housing to, so how do you really decide who you going to provide housing to? And that's a dilemma that I'm stuck with. Even with the transitional housing, it's so many people want these private rooms that most people wouldn't even fathom living like that when they actually living better than most people right now because they only got one bill for the month. They living better than me right now.
You got any right, I'm gonna see you got any rooms available? You got any rooms available?
Man, not one.
Okay.
Not one.
So buying into, what'd you say? How do you say it?
So the family compound or any lot that we got, instead of me trying to build on it myself, I'm more so open into investors now and it being people of the community versus just investors that got money.
Okay. So if someone wants to get in touch with you, how do they learn more about what you have coming up or just to reach out to you? I mean, are you a teacher too? No, you're not.
Man, I do a lot of, yeah. I'm a mentor, teacher, a lot of things, but yeah, they can reach out to me on social media at our nonprofit page, which is Extra Mile 317, or YouTube, Life Agreed 16. That's something that I started when I released my urban fiction book. So, yep, that's the way they get in contact with me.
Mr. Branch, thank you so much for stopping by. This was good. It's always so enlightening to hear from you, all the things that y'all are doing.
You too.
I appreciate you for stopping by.
I appreciate you stopping by. I don't mind anytime you need me.
So I'm looking forward to hearing more about what's coming up.
Yeah.
All right, it's a wrap.
Remember, build something bigger than yourself. When we build together, we grow together.